What's going on, everyone? Sorry about that little issue. As always, there seems to just be an issue, right, with content and sometimes the way games are on the computer. I was trying to figure out Tormented Souls there for a little bit. I was excited to stream it for you guys, but unfortunately, it looks like I'll have to make a first impression video out of it rather than a live stream because it's asking for quite a lot of power on a system that's actually very good, but I got to do a couple of tweaks to Tormented Souls before I go ahead and really try to get something out for you guys. So my apologies, but we're back. This is the Notorious Base. I hope you guys, anybody who's new here, who might check out the VODs, who might just come and hang out. We have some friendly faces that we see. Mr. Tibbs, the lore expert himself. Brother Base, he says, what's up, Mr. Tibbs? Gemini, let's go. What's up, Gem? Hopefully you're doing well. And my man, Lefty, we are so back. It's always great to see everybody here and to just be able to have conversation with you guys. So I think we're going to go down the discussion route today. Earlier when the stream had first started, I was discussing a couple things regarding Silent Hill 1 being one of my dad's favorite games ever made. We are still here, says Gem. I appreciate that, ma'am. Silent Hill 1 was my dad's favorite game ever made. It still is. And when we heard the announcement of Silent Hill 1, man, my dad lit up like a Christmas tree. He was so excited. For all of you guys that know, my dad has joined me on a couple of different videos here on my channel, including my no damage run of Silent Hill 1, right? And we just heard that it's getting a remake. How you doing, fam? How's everything going? It's going good, man. Today was not a bad day, right? It's the end of a week. Very happy that it's over, right? And it's on to the weekend, so we have to enjoy ourselves. But it's always great to be able to spend some time with you guys. We got the wonderful Silent Hill side with some gameplay in the background as we talk about, right, the announcement of Silent Hill 1 Remake. So we have a lot to discuss today, guys. We have some news on Resident Evil 9. Some screenshots have been shared, which is unbelievable. Some information on some of the demo, a 30-minute demo that was shown, right, to a private group of people, right? We also have some Silent Hill F gameplay, right? We saw a little bit more of Silent Hill F during that press conference. We also saw a little bit of Metal Gear Solid Delta, right? A lot of good stuff Konami has. We are back in the renaissance of survival horror, folks. I'm going to make a declaration right now. Let's wake up first. Wake up! And then we're going to talk about, right? We're going to talk about survival horror. Picture it being 1999, right? Resident Evil 2 and 1 are already out. We're having an absolute blast. People are loving it. Resident Evil 2 is breaking the internet for changing the dynamic of not just how horror is, but of how video games are, right? Unbelievable stuff. And then all of a sudden, its sister franchise, Konami, right, the company, decides we need to make a game to keep up with Capcom. Because Capcom and Konami were the two juggernauts of their time, right? Dropping respective games, Castlevania, then the Mega Mans, right? Then the Resident Evils, the Metal Gear Solids. So they were going back to back to back, right? And then Gemini says, I love that we come full circle to the golden age of gaming, right? We are so back, guys. And this is something we're going to be talking about in detail today. Now, we didn't get to see any gameplay. We just saw that it is in development, right? But the fact that we know the Bloober team is back at the helm for Silent Hill 1 feels right. Do you guys remember all the doubt we had originally when it came to Bloober team? And not knowing how they would do the Silent Hill 2 remake? Being worried that they would mess some parts up? They captured lightning in a bottle, and they succeeded and passed expectation on a mile. Got my live stream done today, says Mr. Tebbs. Was hella fun. Now spending the evening with my brother Base. Man, I watched a lot of the VODs. You had 2 of them. Always love watching you play, man. It's hysterical and awesome. Hope you're having a wonderful day. For real, says Lefty. I mean, yeah. We have been so out of the loop with horror. And this is something that I've talked to a few friends about privately. That as much as I'm not a big fan of mascot horror, it seriously kept horror alive for a bit in order to bring back some of the golden age in which we loved, right? Bloober team behind it is all I need to know after Silent Hill 2 Remake, says Gemini. Couldn't agree more. with their brand new IP on their own, Chronos The New Dawn coming soon, that looks like Dead Space and Silent Hill had a kid, to now announcing that they're working on a Silent Hill 1 remake, which we had an idea of. To get that announcement, just to let us know as fans, it's like Konami actually gives a shit about us now. They care about us, they're doing things right for us, and so is Capcom. With not only stepping up to the plate. Hey, Maya. Welcome to the stream. I hope you're doing well. It's great to see everybody in here now. Again, we were trying to stream Tormented Souls a bit earlier. A couple of tech issues. But we're back with a good discussion. Nothing better than a discussion, right? I know for some of our friends over in the UK, it's nighttime, so a nice little bedtime discussion never hurts anybody. Over here in the US, only 6 o'clock, but we're having a great time. Silent Hill 1 was revolutionary, guys, and I would like to announce a project that I am currently going to be working on. My dad and me have been talking, right? We've been having a lot of conversation, and I've always shared with you guys how much the impact of my father showing me games at the age that I am now that he was, buying the Silent Hills, the Resident Evils, the Medievals, right? All of those games, the Crash Bandicoots, how much it meant to me and shaped me, not even just so much as a gamer, but as a person, right? Resident Evil and Silent Hill and Metal Gear Solid and all of them, they changed my perspective on my life. And my dad went out one day, bought a PlayStation 1 at Toys R Us, which was it was like a toy store out over here if you guys don't have any, or you didn't have any, I should say. They're out of pretty much business. He went and he bought a PlayStation 1 and he bought Resident Evil 1 and Crash Bandicoot 1. And I spent countless hours watching him sneaking, behind the door when my parents didn't want me to actually see Resident Evil or Silent Hill, getting to just watch the gameplay and to be mesmerized by, and terrified of the horror. These games mean so much to me that I am proud to announce to you guys right now, I will be going live with my dad, Notorious Bass Sr., in a couple of weeks, as we will be working on the OG Resident Evil trilogy with him on the mic, commentating alongside me. This is a project that I have dreamed of, remembering 20 plus years ago with my dad just playing these games, staying up late, maybe playing like a GTA or a Silent Hill or a Siphon Filter. It feels so good to be back to where we were. Not only that, but Tango Gameworks has been bought and have revived, so we could potentially have the ending of The Evil Within with a third one. I would do anything for that. I would actually do anything for that. The Evil Within was an underrated gem, and if we got a third and final installment into the world of The Evil Within, that's another classic horror game. Well said, Mr. Tibbs. Yes, a beautiful homage to how these games are genuinely bonding experiences. I'm beyond excited to see Bass Senior. Yeah, guys, so the announcement is unveiled right now. Didn't even get to share it with Jem or a couple of my friends. But Bass Senior is going to be on the mic. He's going to be in a Discord call with me. I'm going to be streaming the game over to him. He may actually even be over here playing it with me. And he may also take control of the controller, and we will get to see vintage gameplay of my dad playing these games that he loved. My dad for so many years worked so hard. He worked 2 jobs, 3 jobs. He had to put on pause his hobbies, right? The things that he enjoyed in order to provide for his family. And when we look at it, right, in life, when we're kids, we don't understand why our parents are so busy. Why can't they just play these games? But then we realize when we get to the ages of 20, 30, right, we start to understand they're putting our best interests first. And by doing so, I was able to get the games that I wanted to play. So shout out to the Notorious Bass Senior. He is the man. You guys will love listening to him. He's going to share a lot about how you used to find out about Resident Evil games and horror games and games in general, what the experience was like for him. Now, his favorite game is Silent Hill 1, but he loves Resident Evil. And to just be able to share this moment, real men raise real men. Amen, Jem. Could I ask how old is Bass Senior, and are you waiting for the PS5 releases? So yes, Mr. Tibbs, that's actually what's going on. We are waiting until the PS5 unveils 2 and 3. That's very good insight. I'm glad you actually picked up on that. My dad was always a true blue PlayStation fan, right? He didn't mind the Xbox, he didn't mind Nintendo, he liked them all. But we are gonna get this project unveiled in July when Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 come to the PlayStation 5, and we'll be working on the trilogy. So I'm so excited to unveil that, guys, to you when we do go live, and it's really going to be a treat. So I really appreciate all the love and support for this. This is something I've dreamed about. You know, my dad, even my mom loved watching my dad play these games, and then life just sometimes gets in the way, right? They have to raise kids, they have to do things that, you know, you want to do, but you just don't get to do the things that you used to enjoy for a little while. So now that we have the opportunity, 20-something years later, with remakes dropping like, you know, I don't even know, everything's coming out. I don't even know how to react to this. We have everything coming out. From a couple of Silent Hill titles to a Resident Evil title, probably more Resident Evil titles. Let's be real here. We know this isn't the end of it. 7 is just the beginning. We got a couple remakes going. As Mr. Tibbs stated, we have probably a RE5 remake, hopefully Code Veronica, right? It's incredible to see what these games have done for all of us. Because I'm not going to just talk here about the idea of what survival horror is, right? We know that there are so many games out there, MMORPGs, RPGs, RTSs, games that people grew up with, no matter if it was horror or it was action or it was fantasy. You grew up with a niche and you grew up loving a game. And that should mean something to you. And I'm so happy to have a project like this done with my dad, because my dad means literally everything to me. Getting a little emotional. But I'm so excited to do something like this. You know, my dad's had a lot of, you know, health issues over the years, and just to be able to share this experience with him, and I hope you all get to bond with somebody that you love playing games with. Because at the end of the day, there is no better feeling than doing something you love with someone you love. Wholesome stream idea, man. Thank you, Lefty. It means a lot. Kamino, one of my best friends. How you doing, brother? Thank you for jumping into stream and checking us out. We're going to be talking about all things Resident Evil and Silent Hill tonight. You know better than anyone. You came to the right place. You know, my buddy Kamina here, and he has every right to. He was very skeptical about RE9, and I'm not going to lie, a lot of us were, right? Mainline titles were... They were getting a little rocky, right? 7 was amazing, and then Village was like, oh boy, I hope we don't go a little backwards now. But after seeing RE9, what the plot is, what the gameplay is going to be, the different perspective changes, that's something I want to discuss with you guys. We're getting the option of first person and third person. We are, Brother Base. We are bonding with you. That means so much to me, Jem. Thank you guys for being here. So... you know, as we're talking, we got some Silent Hill playing in the background. Let's discuss for a minute. Silent Hill 1. The first... Now, there are many psychological horror games, right? But Silent Hill 1 encapsulated so much fear. The fear of the unknown, the fear of the fog, the fear of what's going on in a town. It's not so much zombie-oriented, right? There's no zombies. There are creatures. But what are they? Are they people? Are they contorted creatures just based on the reality you're in of the town itself? Is the town telling you what it wants you to see? That's the scariest part we have. Silent Hill plays with your mind, brings you to different locations, the other world, right? Very psychological, dealing with Carl Jung's, right? Different, like the id, the ego, the superego. A lot of different things between Silent Hill 1 through 4 have taken place. And what I could say is that just as much as I am a diehard Resident Evil fan, Silent Hill always steps up to the plate now. And we are in the Renaissance, man. So, I think we're going to start off today. Let's start off today with something good. Let's see what we got here. So, again, not really much to see on this one right here, okay? But this was the announcement trailer. Let me just pause the music for 1 second. Let's see what we got. Let's take a look. Oh, the music. I didn't actually watch this yet. Ooh, what a transition, man. Oh, I would have had goosebumps if I was watching this live. Great song, man. And I recommend to you guys, if you haven't played Silent Hill 1, I know it's very expensive right now. If you could get a copy of maybe like a, a version to play on the PC, emulate it. It is a truly unbelievable game for what it did back in the PS1 era. Oh, man. I mean, unbelievable. Seamless transition. I agree with you, Jem. This is a seamless transition. Resident Evil and Silent Hill, the tandem that they have is just crazy. We're going to take a look at, while we talk, we're going to take a look at the new Silent Hill F gameplay that was just shown a day ago, right? I'm going to just keep this muted because we have some Japanese gentlemen showing us the gameplay. So before we go into this, right, this is the next project we have up. So let's take it one step at a time. We do have RE9, which we're going to talk about next. And we obviously started off a little bit about talking about Silent Hill 1, I'm sorry. We got to look at the game that's coming out September 25th, right? The anomaly itself, Silent Hill F. What does the F stand for? We don't know. It looks like a musical note. Now, this game is supposed to take place in 1960s Japan before the events of Silent Hill, the town itself, bringing upon the Silent Hill phenomenon, right? They discussed that in the short message that was on PS5, that the Silent Hill phenomenon is just not the town. It's something that was created by demonic power that could literally happen anywhere, cause depression, bring different realism, terrifying things to the world, and really scare the shit out of you. I don't mind the idea, right? I know a lot of people are in the middle because they appreciate the town. It doesn't mean that the town isn't what it is, and it will always be a landmark. But being able to branch out and do stuff like this project right here is cool. Yeah, the F stands for fire. I was going to say that, actually. What I like here is, if you guys notice, she could take a lot of damage, Hinako. And it looks like her clothes could get ripped. She could be all bloodied and battered. I mean, this game actually looks a lot like a Fatal Frame. Imagine it's just Silent Hill Fatal Frame. That's what it stands for. We finally find it out. It's just like a big-ass crossover. Let's take a look at the gameplay as we talk. Just the detail, I gotta say, so Neobard Studio, right, is one of the creators of Resident Evil, RE-Verse, and Resistance. Two trash-ass games that were dog shit. Okay, I'm flat out here. That doesn't mean Neobards, right, is a bad studio. I don't think they're a bad studio. I think they were tasked with bad ideas. Now that they have creative control over a game inside of a real horror world, we see that we have a health bar. I mean, this looks a lot more reminiscent to Fatal Frame, which I don't mind. I don't mind the idea of trying to go outward and change what, you're not changing the formula of Silent Hill, because Silent Hill is still going to probably be, right? We haven't heard anything on Townfall. We don't even know if that still exists, that project. I think it does. If you guys remember correctly, if you guys don't remember the Silent Hill Townfall trailer or what it is, let me know in the comment section of the chat. I'll go ahead and play the trailer in a little while. That's another game that I personally think is going to revolve around the town of Silent Hill. But Gemini says, Silent Hill isn't just a town, it's a feeling. It's your own internal nightmares made manifested. Your insecurities, your fears, your pain. No matter where you are in the world, you're never far from Silent Hill. Well fucking said. Because he's right, guys. The phenomenon works if done right. See, that's the thing, right? People get worried because if you start doing phenomenons in different locations, right, you may all of a sudden start to see like a Assassin's Creed idea or a Call of Duty idea where it comes out every year. I don't think that's what they're going for. I think they're just trying to take more liberties to bring the story elsewhere, right? See new characters, but still feel the absolute dread that you do. Like, look at these creatures. This is absolutely disgusting. I mean, this is scary, right? And the idea of this one is the beauty in horror. So boom. September 25th, pre-order now, Neobards Entertainment using the hell out of Unreal Engine. We're getting it on literally everything. I'm pre-ordering it. So we're going to make sure that we get a stream on this game when the time comes. Cannot wait for Silent Hill F. I have very high expectations for it. And you know what? Regardless of if it's a 10 or a 6, right? At the end of the day, we have to take it for what it is. It is a new title in the Silent Hill franchise with a new company. It is not Bloober Team, but I have high hopes for Neobards, right? I don't think the new wave of Konami with the Silent Hill team will allow this to be shit anymore. I don't. I really don't. I think that we are back to actually seeing good stuff. To be honest with you guys, that feels really good to say, because for a long time Silent Hill F was on the back Silent Hill was on the back burner for 12 long years. Right? 12 years. And then this is where I think they show, okay, here's a Torii Gate. We get to see a little bit more Hinako, which I'm very excited to see why they keep calling her a traitor, you're a liar, you're a fraud, you're a piece of garbage. They keep calling her a lot of stuff. So what direction they're going to actually bring this story into is quite interesting. Quite interesting, man. Quite interesting. I got freaking chills from reading what Jem said. I mean, I agree, man. I am just going to announce it now, guys, that obviously we're going to have a live stream of Silent Hill F the day it comes out. First impressions, first ideas. But I really, like I said before, I have high hopes for this game. It looks fucking terrifying. It actually looks scary. Like, what the hell is that thing? That is just a bundle of babies. I'm not even gonna lie, Jem, this kind of reminds me a little bit of Little Nightmares in the way of the creatures, where, like, really, it's, like, just terrifying. And I love the camera angle. I love this third-person feel where you actually see the full body. I mean, I really feel like they are doing something special with Silent Hill F. The dolls, right? Like, the dolls that you see a lot in Japan. This is taking place in the Ibisu Prefecture, right? So it's like a rural area of Japan that still practices like its different religious beliefs with the Torii gates. I mean, this is scary. So I'm excited to see what Hinako has for us and what the rest of the game does. Japan do this type of horror better than anyone. Well, Japan has been doing this type of horror better than anyone for a long, long time. You were 100% right. This game looks so good, says Maya. I like the style and the red flower. I mean, I couldn't agree any more with you, Maya. I just think, like, if you look at these graphics, it's kind of like I was saying maybe 10 minutes ago. It's unbelievably unsettling, Lefty. I agree. I think the problem, like I said, with Neobards Entertainment was they were tasked with garbage, which was RE-verse and whatever the other one was, I already forgot, Resistance, right? It was like you were doomed to fail. Like, you were almost like, yeah, I got to try to make this and make it the way that they want us to write it. Now they have free reign of Silent Hill F, man. And just seeing some people around Hinako, seeing the town transform, I mean, I'm excited. I know a lot of us in here are probably going to be excited for this too. So, now, right, we discussed a little bit of Silent Hill F. Let's take a look at the behind the scenes before we go ahead and skip away. Now, we're obviously going to go ahead and talk about RE9 for most of this stream, because I know that's what a lot of people want to hear. I know a lot of people in here do love Silent Hill, and we're going to have a lot to talk about as it gets closer and the game is out, right? And then when we get to see a little bit of footage of Silent Hill 1. But there is the mocap right here that I wanted to check out with you guys. This is the motion capture behind it. So behind the designs, this is what it looked like designing the world of Silent Hill F. Look at this little guy right here, man. This guy is gangster. I love this little dude. Akamoto. Show me the people. Albert! I don't want to see you, Albert. Wow, look at this. Alright, so this is the game director, Al Yang. He's the director from Neobards. He's the one that's he's manning the helm of this game. So he's got a lot of pressure on those nice hooded shoulders. I love horror. We're eating good, my brothers and sisters. I find this to be just so fascinating. I really want to see the wow, look at this. Oh my god, that looked disgusting. Ugh. And then this guy's right here. This guy is an absolute legend. This is Ryushiki 7, right? Ryukishi 7. Sorry, I can't pronounce anything today. He wrote Higurashi When They Cry, a very, very legendary anime that is very twisted that you guys should check out. You know, it's very good. He is the scriptwriter for this story, so I really do believe it's in good hands. All Neobards needs to do is execute on the gameplay aspect, and when you have storytelling at this magnitude, you're probably safe. Okay, so that's why I'm not too worried. We got a little bit of the gameplay. Where is this? Ooh, look at it. Oh, it had like a storybook. Are they gonna show us they didn't show us the motion capture. All right, I mean, but just being able to know that like this is motion capture a lot like Silent Hill 2, so we're gonna have people actually like acting these roles and doing it. Oh man, can't wait. Shout out to Dan Allen Gaming for the gameplay. Unbelievable. Okay, so a couple things to discuss now. Oh, I'm not on the right Reddit. Oh, when am I ever on the right Reddit? Wow! Hold on a second here. Wow! Alright, folks, we get to see a list of some games that are going to be planned for the future. Oh, shit. Dying Light the Beast, Silent Hill F, Directive 8020, which is made by the creators of the Dark Picture anthology. Please don't let it be anything like them. Chronos, The New Dawn. Killing Floor 3, of course, I know many of the favorites in here. Little Nightmares 3, hopefully we hear something soon. I mean, it's, come on now, give me something, give us something. Resident Evil 9 Requiem, Silent Hill 1, Townfall, OD, which is a game that's going to be made by Kojima-san, Alien Isolation 2, and Ill. If we ain't eating good, this is Thanksgiving. Look at this list. Really looking forward to Ill, says Jem. Yeah, that trailer scared the hell out of me, dude. That thing was disgusting. I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited for a lot of the titles on this list. I have a lot of high... I mean, like, Dying Light, I loved growing up, but, like, I'm so past, like, the idea of the DLC for Dying Light, although it's fun. Yes, Alien Isolation 2, after 10 years, Lefty, was finally announced. Yeah, my Little Nightmares 3 is on this list. It's something that people really want to see. Unfortunately, it was not shown at the Summer Games Fest. We do have Gamescom coming up in August, so maybe there is a good chance we'll see some more gameplay of it. But don't worry, I do believe Little Nightmares is coming out sooner rather than later, right? Maybe we'll get it at the Tokyo Game Show. It's frustrating, guys, but don't worry. It's definitely going to be coming out. Notice how they didn't mention Reanimal on this list? All right, so let's take a look at some Resident Evil website was updated. What the hell's going on here? Ooh, we got a little bit of the story. Everything is set in motion when a body, the victim of an unidentifiable disease, is discovered in an abandoned hotel. FBI analyst Grace Ashcroft is assigned to the case. But the crime scene at the very same hotel where her mother died 8 years ago. Okay, so we got some really deep-rooted story aspects for Resident Evil 9 Requiem. And I'm going to tell you guys straight off the bat, one thing that Resident Evil... And again, story's great, but one thing that Resident Evil didn't do was focus heavily on their stories like a Silent Hill. And this right here, aside from, like, the 7 and 8 correlation... This may be the first time we're diving really deep into a Resident Evil game, man. This story sounds like a Condemned, you know, like a Condemned 3 to a small degree. Right, so now we're moving over to, obviously, to Resident Evil, because that's, you know, what we want to talk about here. A lot of people here love RE. Grace prepares to finally face the past and make her way to the scene. But this one case leads to uncovering the hidden truth behind the outbreak of Raccoon City. That is interesting. The biological disaster that had once shook the world. Will this be the Requiem that finally lays the memories of the abhorrent disaster to rest? What? And okay, so we got a little bit of information on Grace. An intelligence analyst for the FBI who demonstrates intense focus and insight in inductive reasoning and analysis. Her mother's death shook her to the soul, making her an introvert who immerses herself in work. Wow, so she was a little bit different prior to the... I mean, obviously trauma shapes you, right? Trauma shapes all of us. So she heads to an abandoned hotel alone to investigate the mysterious death. I think it's kind of crazy, though, if you think about it, that the FBI director's like, yeah, Grace, I know your mom died here, but we need you. Do we think the G virus could have survived? Well, honestly, I said this before in the last stream when we were having a discussion. I will say it again. I do believe that the G virus and T virus are still around. I think that Lisa is still alive. I think that who we're seeing in the trailers is Lisa Trevor. She's basically immortal. I mean, I had a conversation off screen with Mr. Tibbs, and we both agreed that it's probably Lisa Trevor. Right? She just jumped into the catacombs. We don't know if she actually died. As far as I know, Umbrella Chronicles, only certain chapters are canon. I actually saw a... Let me see if I can find that list. Resident Evil canon list. Oh, timeline. Is that it? Is this the one this guy made? Timeline by Media? No. Current Resident Evil timeline. Okay. Before we go into crazy detail here, and we keep reading more on RE9, somebody in the Resident Evil subreddit decided to make an actual list of the chapters of games and of the parts that are actually canonical, which means accurate to the story lore. Yeah, Resident Evil 0, right? Umbrella Chronicles Nightmare missions with Rebecca between 0 and 1. Those were canon. Goes into RE2. Umbrella Chronicles Rebirth. So Wesker's escape from the mansion being canon is weird because he fights Lisa Trevor. So I don't know how... I mean, I guess at the time they made it canon. We have RE3 Remake, the first part up until Jill is in the hospital. RE2 Remake, Outbreaks. These are big, right? So this is an entire list of what is actually canon in the Resident Evil franchise, which took a lot of work. I will give them that. Dead Aim and Survivor. They highlighted it just so that I'd see it. Hats off to the superfans to take time to do this stuff. I agree. I agree with Chem. The fact that Survivor is highlighted right now, and we even got the Degeneration, Infinite Darkness, the beginning comic. I mean, this is a lot of time. Look at this. Oh God. Wait, what do these mean? Okay, Ethan, anything that does not have any of the characters is very important to the overall, isn't very important to the overall story. Say any entry timeline not directly involved to those characters will have this. Okay, so I feel like this is really important for 9. I mean, Survivor, we know. Dead Aim actually is canon, if you can believe it. This is just dog shit. And then the daughter's band footage. That's interesting. So we have a whole list. If you guys ever want me to send the link, I'd go ahead and send it to you. Let me see if I can go ahead and paste that right in here. So this is the link if you guys do want to check it out. This is the Resident Evil timeline. So we're going to go back to talk a little bit about Alyssa Ashcroft, right? Well, she heads to the abandoned hotel to investigate this mysterious death. I'm telling you guys, I think Alyssa is going to be a great character. I think the perspective change of first person to third is going to be massive for the franchise. We saw it be added in Resident Evil Village later on. But I think certain areas and certain things that happen in the game are going to be better viewed in first person than they would be in third. Maybe for a scare factor, immersion. I'm not too sure. But man, this is cool. So from what I've heard from a couple people that have played the demo, because I talked to a few, and even watched a few creators that played it, there were no guns. It was basically you inside of some sort of building, right? It looked like the one that was in the trailer with the woman walking. And you are doing everything that you can to hide from that gigantic creature that's in the trailer. There are a lot of things. It feels like it's chasing you. Very Alien Isolation feel, right? And the demo ends with you escaping through the bottom of a fence. So again, it felt like, from what I heard, it's very tutorial based. It's very kind of just making you feel what it's like to switch to the different perspectives. I heard that both games run perfectly in their respective perspectives. So if we're playing it in third person, the game looks like it was built for third. If we're playing it in first, vice versa. What do we got here? Raccoon City, man. Look at that picture. A Midwestern city in the United States and headquarters of the former global pharmaceutical company Umbrella. In the face of a zombie outbreak in 1998, the government approved a sterilization operation. A missile strike on the city in an attempt to quickly bring the city's situation under control, but this was swiftly covered up. Female gigante-looking thing was horrifying. Oh yeah, that thing was disgusting. Well, one thing that Gem and, you know, I think Mr. Tibbs had mentioned was the kids are the El Gigantes in RE4, and I had no idea that's where the kids went. So, pretty disgusting. So this is actual footage here, guys. This is footage here from Resident Evil 9's demo, Requiem. Experience the series of classic survival horror through combat, investigation, puzzles, and resource management, right? That's the stuff we know and love. Gameplay allows you to freely switch between first and third person views to face the horrors in a way that suits your playstyle. Right? We got the first person perspective on the bottom, third person with her holding the lighter. Do not forget the lighter in RPD2. Wow. This shit looks scary. Yes, lighter confirmed, and it is not if we find a lighter in the RPD, bro, the game they heard me. Capcom heard me. So this is what it's gonna look like, man, and I wish we had some demo footage, but unbelievable. Oh, wait, can we just go back like this? Dun, dun, dun. Da, da, da. All right, we got a lot here, man. Oh, what's this? Oh, look at this. Don't forget the lighter in RPD2 2025. Which game you more excited for, says Maya. Oh, man, that is a great question. I think I'm actually the most excited for Requiem. I'm not gonna lie, not over Silent Hill 1. I think they're kind of like at a tie, but Silent Hill 1 is so far out from coming out. Like, we just know that it's in development, so it'll probably be like 2 years. 2-3 years before that game even drops, right? But we'll probably see trailers along the way. I am so freaking excited for that. But I think Requiem, when they showed that they were coming back to Raccoon City, it's just fucking, it's insane. So Capcom experienced the unmatched fear at Gamescom 2025, where Resident Evil Requiem will be publicly playable for the first time globally. Stop by your GameStop booth if you're visiting Cologne. What is that, where it is? So people will finally be able to play the demo at Gamescom August 20th. That is crazy. Let's see what's going on here. We get more pictures, or is it just... No, this is just... Wow, it's scary. Yeah, the topics are gonna stop. I saw somebody comment over there. 21-year-old Leon versus... and 27-year-old Leon side by side. Look at what happened to my boy. Yeah, it's called Torment. Yeah, so this is, you know... This is the wonderful world of books, tickets to Cologne. Yeah, no, we're about to just take a ride, dude. I don't even care anymore. Ah, man. Okay, community bookmarks. So I'm just trying to see if there's anything more RE9 related for us. I mean, this is just crazy. Let's go ahead and look at this real quick. Our Resident Evil 9. Did we get anything about the demo? Let's see what IGN had to say.
For you, but we do want to talk about our gameplay experience. So, Matt, can you walk us through?
Let's see what IGN has to say. Maybe you can't spell IGN without ignorant.
And we took control of the new protagonist, Grace Ashcroft, who is a FBI investigator, and obviously, you know, she wakes up in this spooky abandoned hospital where all sorts of you know, gore and gutsy viscera things seem to have happened, but we don't really know the full story. We just know that she wakes up in this abandoned looking hospital. It's very scary, and as she sort of explores these hallways, you know, in the nurses' stations, there's like blood everywhere, but it's also very like Resident Evil-y, you know, so there's like gothic architecture in random places where you don't expect them. Like the doors have like marble statues for, you know, I don't know, it's a very fancy hospital, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it reminds me a lot of Resident Evil 7 in that way. You know, Resident Evil 8 felt I don't want to say whimsical, but there was something.
Oh, I'll call out IGN any day of the week, Jem. You know me. I think with ignorance, right? Ignorance is bliss. When you don't know something and you don't know what to rate something, giving it a fat 7 just because you don't know what it is, that'd be like giving Little Nightmares 3 a 7 because you just don't know if you should give it an 8 or 9, or you should give it lower when we know it's probably going to be a 9, if not closer to a 10, right? IGN has been around forever, but they just missed the mark with everything. So I'm curious, though, to hear what the guys have to say about the playthrough.
About that game kind of took the edge off a little bit more. There's a little bit more action, but I think my impression of this gameplay demo is that it kind of reels it back to the feeling of RE7. And the one thing I want to say about Grace Ashcroft as a character is that as I played the demo, I felt her fear as well. And you could hear it in her expressions and in her voice and the way she moves. You know, even Winters from previous games, I didn't really get a real serious gauge of his personality. But right off the bat with Grace in the opening cutscene that you see, and then even in the trailer, when you see her, like she's an FBI investigator, and like the remnants of her mom she's going to investigate. So you know she's involved on some level, but no, what?
You're literally not giving me any information here. You're just telling me exactly what I already know. Sounds like IGN. Residents of Evil. Now we're in the real McCoy of life, guys. These are the Resident Evil guys.
It looks like the very first screenshots have been leaked online. What's up, everybody? Andy here from the Residents of Evil, and let's enter the survival horror with Resident Evil Requiem. To note, we will have a deep dive into the private demo gameplay that will be dropping later today. Now let's talk about some of the leaks. But as always, take these with a grain of salt. In these images, we get a look at the game's main protagonist, Grace Ashcroft, one of the terrifying enemies and some of the creepy
And that's the thing, right? Like, a lot of these people that cover the game, I'm not knocking them. I'm talking about IGN here. Like, they just say a lot of stuff. They just, like, embellish a lot of, like, random stuff just to, like, sound fancy, and it's information we already know. Shout out ROE, man. Oh, God, The Keeper's Diary. I hope this Resurrection movie they're working on actually comes to light. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
environments we'll be exploring. Resident Evil Requiem is built on the impressive RE engine, and from what we've seen so far, it looks absolutely stunning. The source claims this info comes from a 30-minute demo Capcom reportedly showed to the press. In the demo, we apparently saw gameplay in both first-person and third-person perspectives. If true, Resident Evil Requiem might allow players to switch between both modes. In this demo, Grace can be seen exploring, opening doors, turning on lights, and even being attacked. One monster took a bite out of her shoulder, and instead of using the classic healing spray, she uses a syringe to heal herself, a bit of a new twist on the traditional healing system. There are also rumours that the game may feature two playable characters, Grace Ashcroft and possibly Leon S. Kennedy, something hinted at by well-known insider Dusk Golem. Capcom has officially set the release date for Resident Evil Requiem on February 27th, 2026. That's it for now. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more updates.
So it seems like they alluded to the fact that there's going to be a second character that has a little bit more of the action side. Maybe we'll get Leon S. Kennedy in his RE4-esque type of style, right? Gameplay, more RE2-esque as well. And then we'll also have Grace, who does more of like the horrifying parts. But again, we don't know. We don't know. They're not giving me they're not giving us the answers. RE9's title has made me realize that many people don't know how to pronounce the word requiem. They probably say requiem. I mean, and check this out. I want to show you guys this. Boom. Your boy. Your boy! 220 likes. Stay close is Jill Valentine's voice actor from RE3 Remake. The band is coming back together. Yeah, Leon's gonna be in a wheelchair in this damn game. I have amassed 220 likes on the actual Resident Evil page because I really do believe that was Jill Valentine's voice. And it seems like a lot of people do kind of agree. It sounds just like her, right? This is going to be cataclysmic. I just don't know how to describe Resident Evil 9 in more words than it is going to be awesome. I think we just got to wait and see. Nakanishi-san is just an absolute genius when it comes to this creative side. I mean, what he did for RE7 was an unbelievable twist that really revitalized the franchise to what it is, you know, and this is very interesting here. Where is it? Nakanishi RE9. Can we find something on him? Message explained. RE9 is not confirmed first person.
Capcom just dropped.
Let's see. Seems like a lot of people are just talking about the same thing. But man, let's get some gameplay going while we're talking here. What are we thinking? Some RE7 gameplay? Resident Evil 9 has the actual potential to be one of the greatest games ever made, seriously, especially for survival horror. I am absolutely loving what they're going to do for this game. I think the creature is, of course, like I said, Lisa Trevor. I think we got a lot out of just a simple teaser trailer. A lot of people have put on their... Oh, God. Margaret scared me. Marguerite. We have a lot of lore that's really being dug up with Outbreak characters like Alyssa Ashcroft. Maybe one of them is the dude in the RPD outfit who is a police officer. Kevin Ryman. Maybe we'll get to see Carlos Oliveira. Maybe we'll get to see a lot of characters that bring the Requiem to life, right? I can't say for sure what direction this game is going to be in, man. I can't say for sure, right? We're so far out from Silent Hill 1 that while I am super excited, I feel like we could cover that more as time gets closer. But man, I'm telling you guys, this is going to be some really scary shit. Really scary shit. I mean, I'm just looking at RE7 now for the sole fact that Nakanishi-san was the one who made this game. And I mean, just look at how scary it was. It wasn't Tony Arm's bullets, of course, right? But we got a lot of other stuff out of it. Oh, God. This game actually scared the shit out of me in 2017. What are our thoughts on Resident Evil 9, guys? What do we want to see from it? I'm so curious to hear, because honestly, there's a lot of discussion. There are so many things percolating through, right, the grapevine onto like what they expect to see. Who do you expect to see? What do you want to see? I know for a fact I want to see Leon. I just don't want him to die. That's what I'm so worried about. You know, I spoke to Mr. Tibbs, and Mr. Tibbs thinks, well, if Leon's going to be in this game, it's probably the end of the road to him. But if they don't give Leon a proper send-off, I feel like it's going to be one hell of a colossal fail, you know? How do you not give the man, the myth, the legend, Leon S. Kennedy his proper send-off? It'd be the same as not giving Chris a proper send-off after everything he's been through. I don't know if you guys actually know this, but the voice actor of Chris in RE8 is actually the same voice actor as Carlos in RE3 Remake. Again, the problem is us as fans, we don't have, you know, we only know what we can. I probably should have put on Outbreak. I'm also keen to see Leon back and revisiting Raccoon City. Has been a dream of mine since they sterilized it back in '98. I agree. And one thing we actually discussed, I think, on our live stream last time was that Alyssa Ashcroft and Ben from Resident Evil 2, who was locked in the jail cell, they were both the same type of reporter that both worked for the Raccoon Press, okay? That is scary. So they actually knew each other. They were probably friends. And the fate of Ben was just truly brutal, being crushed by Mr. X. It would make sense for Leon's story to come full circle in the RPD if he does die. I agree with Lefty. I mean, as much as I don't want him to die, this is like a perfect way to just kind of bring life full circle, start to move on with the stories that you want to. You can still make the remakes, but now you're stepping away from a lot of mainline characters, right? We might see Jill. She may have more of like an Ada role in this game where we see her, but we don't really play as her. It could be possible. We have Ashcroft, right? Like Grace Ashcroft. I forgot how great Outbreak is, man. And if you guys haven't played Outbreak, I definitely recommend going and playing it now that we know that Alyssa is canon. Well, we knew Outbreak was canon, but you know what I'm saying? Like being able to now really dive into a story. That was one thing that Resident Evil always lacked. They would make these characters, these side characters, and then just throw them in a garbage bin, and that was it. Sheva Alomar, all of the Outbreak characters, Ark Thompson from Survivor, right? Carlos Oliveira, which is a fan favorite, especially after the remake. A lot of characters don't get to see the light of day again unless you're the star 4 heroes. And truthfully, I think out of all the 4 heroes, one we never get to see is Claire. So I'm kind of hoping we see Claire in this game, because I feel like Claire, right? She had obviously RE2, she had Code Veronica, and then we really, you know, we saw her in Revelations 2, but there's never been in a Revelations 3, which would be interesting. And I would love to see Billy Cohen back from RE0. A lot of speculation and rumors that he's dead, right? That he was the nemesis. I don't think he was the nemesis, but hey, we don't know. Who is the guy sitting by the record player? Once again, we just don't know. More questions than answers seems to be the problem we have when it comes to a lot of these games. And I'm not gonna lie, it makes me nothing more than excited. I love when there's discussion and we don't know answers. Isn't that a weird feeling? Because it lets you sit there and speculate, theorize what something could be. Oh man, I can't tell you guys how excited I am for these projects coming up. And although the stream wasn't planned to do this, it really is a pleasure to be able to do this type of content and just talk with you guys, you know? And also be able to check out the VOD when it's done. I'd like to make a video of my first impressions on Tormented Souls, which I do think I'm going to go ahead and do. Maybe later today even, you know, maybe that'll be something I work on for you guys so you have a first look at Tormented Souls demo. But, oh man, this is just absolutely incredible. We have more questions than answers. This is the most exciting part of game releases. I agree, Jem. I agree. I think that not knowing is part of a release of something big that you love, right? Because you get to speculate. I'm really excited, man. I'm really, really excited. And while I know my stream was planned to start at 6, I started it quite earlier. And, okay, no problem, Maya. I'm probably not going to be streaming for much longer as it is because I was trying to start a bit earlier, and obviously the stream got all messed up today, but I appreciate you being in the stream, and really, thank you so much for being a part of it. So the goal is, obviously, guys, we're trying to go live at least once or twice a week. We were able to go live, a couple things happened, but we'll make it work. And yeah, we have the project of live streams with my dad coming up. I'm super, super excited for. And again, I think that in these last 2 streams, we've covered a lot of what we do know and what we don't. I'm excited, guys. But for now, we're going to leave it at the 1 hour mark because I do have to install that air conditioning that I was telling most of you about in the Discord. I finally got an air conditioner for my area where I live in because it is hot as hell here. Thank you so much, Maya. I really do put in a lot of hard work, and I really do appreciate when it's acknowledged, so thank you so much for the love. And guys, I know this was a shorter stream, but I hope you enjoyed just breaking down some content. When more news on Silent Hill 1 comes out, you know I'll be one of the first to cover it. More RE9 stuff when Gamescom comes out. And yeah, we're going to go live next week, and we're going to be discussing a brand new game that we're going to be streaming. We're actually probably going to just start off right with it. And I have it planned out. I've finally decided. But you'll see. I'll unveil it the day that we stream. I'll make some announcements over here on YouTube and the Discord. It has been great to cover this stuff in real time, Jam, man. I love it. And thank you guys so much for being a part of it and even jumping in today. I know it's a Friday. You know, a lot of people are doing their own thing. They're busy. Sometimes Fridays aren't a hot hit for streams, but we made it work. And I appreciate you guys all for being here tonight. Thank you, Lefty. Thank you, everyone, Mr. Tibbs, everybody who usually joins our streams. I look forward to seeing you guys next week, probably around Tuesday, but I'll make the announcement and we're going to be starting our new live game. You guys have yourself a wonderful rest of your night. Sleep tight, and don't let those Resident Evil T-Virus bedbugs bite. I'll talk to you guys soon. The Notorious Base signing out. I'm going to catch you for the next one next week.